Welcome to our first awards ceremony here for the day at 24/7 in Atlanta. My name is Danny. I'm your director for the weekend. Let me first start by congratulating and thanking all the dancers who competed with us this morning. You guys did a wonderful job, whether it was in person or virtual. We were so happy to watch you guys up here doing your thing, and we are so grateful to all of you for being here this weekend with us. I'm going to jump right into our awards, starting with our adjudicated awards, and then moving into our high point by age division, high point by performance division, and then our 11 o'clock numbers for our sidekicks, minis, and juniors. For those of you that are new to 24/7, these dancers were just judged based off of a bracket system, starting with silver, moving to high silver, then to gold, then to a high gold, and for a near perfect score from each judge, they would receive a Stop the Clock award. All right, we started this morning off with entry number 267 from Variations Dance Studio, I Walk Until, receives a high gold. 268 from West Main Studios, What a Wonderful World, receives a high gold. 269 from Gretchen Green School of Dance, I Am, receives a high gold. 270 from Gretchen Green School of Dance, Firework, receives a high gold. 271 from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, Kill the Lights, receives our first Stop the Clock award. Number 272 from Variations Dance Studio, Brand New Eyes, receives a high gold. 273 from Gretchen Green School of Dance, Go Do, receives a high gold. 274 from Great Gig Dance Co., Jump Shout Boogie, receives a high gold. 275 from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, Knockout, receives a high gold. 276 from West Main Studios, America, receives a high gold. 277 from Gretchen Green School of Dance, Above the Clouds, receives a high gold. 278 from Gretchen Green School of Dance, Mac the Knife, receives a high gold. 279 from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, Wires, receives a high gold. 280 from West Main Studios, Popcorn Poppers, receives a high gold. 281 from Great Gig Dance Co., Tiny Dancer, receives a high gold. 282 from Gretchen Green School of Dance, Daisies, receives a high gold. 283 from Heather Wayne's Dance Company, All the Rage, receives a high gold. 284 from Gretchen Green School of Dance, Got to Be Real, receives a gold. 285 from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, WEPA, receives a Stop the Clock award. 286 from Great Gig Dance Co., Come Out and Play, receives a high gold. 287 from West Main Studios, Spiders, receives a high gold. 288 from Gretchen Green School of Dance, Forget About the Boy, receives a high gold. 289 from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, Rinse and Repeat, receives a high gold. 290 from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, Runaway, receives a high gold. 291 from Heather Wayne's Dance Company, Cheetah-licious, receives a high gold. 292 from Gretchen Green School of Dance, Sweet to Me, receives a high gold. 293 from Great Gig Dance Co., Back to Black, receives a high gold. 294 from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, Daisies, receives a Stop the Clock award. 295 from Heather Wayne's Dance Company, Yellow Flicker Beat, receives a gold. 296 from Gretchen Green School of Dance, Green Mountain State, receives a high gold. 297 from West Main Studios, Me, receives a high gold. 298 from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, The Moment, receives a Stop the Clock award. 299 from Heather Wayne's Dance Company, Smile Big, receives a high gold. 300 from Gretchen Green School of Dance, Grease, receives a high gold. 301 from the Southern Strut, Fergalicious, receives a Stop the Clock award. 302 from the Southern Strut, ABC, receives a high gold. 303 from Malelli Academy, Save a Horse, receives a high gold. 304 from the Southern Strut, Wonderland, receives a Stop the Clock award. 305 from Dance Makers of Atlanta, We Insist, receives a high gold. 306 from the Southern Strut, Mr. Piano Man, receives a Stop the Clock award. 307 from Studio 413, Critical Level, receives a high gold. 308 from the Southern Strut, This Place About to Blow, receives a Stop the Clock award. 309 from Dance Makers of Atlanta, Hound Dog, receives a high gold. 310 from Dance Makers of Atlanta, Made of Stone, receives a Stop the Clock award. 311 from the Southern Strut, I Will Leave the Light On, receives a Stop the Clock award. 312 from the Southern Strut, Fly Me to the Moon, receives a high gold. 313 from Studio 413, Helium, receives a high gold. 314 from Malelli Academy, Missy, receives a Stop the Clock award. 315 from the Southern Strut, A Young Mind's Thoughts, receives a Stop the Clock award. 316 from the Southern Strut, Rainbow Bright, receives a Stop the Clock award. 317 from Studio 413, Goodbye, receives a Stop the Clock award. 318 from Dance Makers of Atlanta, Move, receives a high gold. 319 from the Southern Strut, Hey Hi Hello, receives a Stop the Clock award. 320 from Dance Makers of Atlanta, 3,000 Miles, receives a Stop the Clock award. 321 from the Southern Strut, First Day Frug, receives a Stop the Clock award. 322 from the Southern Strut, Reflections, receives a high gold. 323 from Dance Makers of Atlanta, Genesis, receives a Stop the Clock award. 324 from Malelli Academy, Move Your Body, receives a high gold. 325 from the Southern Strut, The Gospel Truth, receives a Stop the Clock award. 326 from Dance Makers of Atlanta, Little Shop of Horrors, receives a high gold. 327 from Studio 413, Into the Night, receives a high gold. 328 from the Southern Strut, Dump Him, receives a high gold. 329 from Dance Makers of Atlanta, Brown Skin Girl, receives a Stop the Clock award. 330 from the Southern Strut, Dirty South, receives a Stop the Clock award. 331 from Dance Makers of Atlanta, Shoe Game, receives a high gold. 332 from the Southern Strut, Chewy Chewy, receives a Stop the Clock award. 334 from Studio 413, Baristas, receives a high gold. 335 from the Warehouse, Deo, receives a high gold. 336 from the Southern Strut, Ponytail, receives a high gold. 337 from North Georgia Dance and Music Factory, Piece by Piece, receives a gold. 338 from Studio 413, Lose Control, receives a high gold. 339 from Studio 413, Girl Boss receives a Stop the Clock award. 340 from the Southern Strut, Flying Solo receives a Stop the Clock award. 341 from Dance Makers of Atlanta, Found a Good One receives a Stop the Clock award. 342 from Dance Makers of Atlanta, Nonstop receives a Stop the Clock award. 343 from Carolina Collective Dance, When My Feet Don't Touch the Ground receives a High Gold. 344 from the Southern Strut, As Good As It Gets receives a Stop the Clock award. 345 from Studio 413, Electricity receives a Stop the Clock award. 346 from the Warehouse, Small Leaf receives a High Gold. 347 from Atlanta Academy of Ballet and Dance, Empires Arise receives a High Gold. 348 from the Southern Strut, Yacht Club Cuties receives a Stop the Clock award. 349 from Rhythm Dance Center, Violin Fantastique receives a High Gold. 350 from Rhythm Dance Center, Shout receives a High Gold. 351 from Rhythm Dance Center, Jitterbug receives a High Gold. 352 from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, Bop Till You Drop receives a High Gold. 353 from Studio Powers, Iconology receives a High Gold. 354 from Rhythm Dance Center, Susudio receives a Stop the Clock award. 355 from Rhythm Dance Center, Besties receives a Stop the Clock award. 356 from Rhythm Dance Center, Zero to Hero receives a High Gold. 357 from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, Dance Apocalyptic receives a Stop the Clock award. 358 from Studio Powers, You Still Love Me receives a High Gold. 359 from Studio Powers, Big Love, Small Moments receives a High Gold. 360 from Rhythm Dance Center, Rainbow Fun for Everyone receives a High Gold. 361 from Rhythm Dance Center, Here Comes the Sun receives a Stop the Clock award. 362 from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, Bones receives a Stop the Clock award. 363 from Rhythm Dance Center, Fly Kicks receives a Stop the Clock award. 364 from Studio Powers, Dance receives a High Gold. 365 from Rhythm Dance Center, It's Electric receives a High Gold. 366 from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, The Swan receives a Stop the Clock award. 367 from Rhythm Dance Center, The Happy Disco Show receives a Stop the Clock award. 368 from Studio Powers, Deep Water receives a High Gold. 369 from Rhythm Dance Center, Walk It Out receives a Stop the Clock award. 371 from Rhythm Dance Center, Love Shack receives a High Gold. 372 from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, Love Shack receives a High Gold. 373 from Rhythm Dance Center, Who You Are receives a Stop the Clock award. 374 from Studio Powers, Cry Me a River receives a Stop the Clock award. 375 from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, Off the Rails receives a Stop the Clock award. 376 from Rhythm Dance Center, Back at It receives a Stop the Clock award. 377 from Rhythm Dance Center, Foot on the Gas receives a Stop the Clock award. 378 from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, Concerto in D receives a High Gold. And last but certainly not least, from number 379 from Rhythm Dance Center, Skia Rhythmdale receives a Stop the Clock award. Congratulations to you guys, awesome job. That's gonna round out our adjudicated awards. I'm now gonna move on to our high point by age division, starting with our Sidekick groups. We have a first overall Sidekick group coming to us from Studio Powers. It's Big Love, Small Moments. Moving on to our Sidekick line top three, we have a two-way tie for third overall Sidekick line. First up in third, from the Southern Strut, it's Reflections. And also in third overall for our Sidekick line from the Southern Strut, it's Dump Him. Standing alone in second overall for our Sidekick line from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Besties. And we have a two-way tie for first overall Sidekick line. First up in first, from the Southern Strut, it's Rainbow Bright. And also in first overall from the Southern Strut, it's Mr. Piano Man. Moving on to our Sidekick extended line, we have a first overall Sidekick extended line coming to us from the Southern Strut, it's Flying Solo. We also have a first overall Sidekick production coming to us from the Southern Strut, it's Chewy Chewy. Congratulations, Sidekicks, awesome job. Moving on to our mini group top three. Mini group top three, we have a three-way tie for third. First up in third from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, it's Wepa. Also in third overall for our mini groups from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, it's The Moment. And rounding out third overall mini group from the Southern Strut, it's Hey Hi Hello. Second overall mini group comes to us from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, it's Bones. Which means your first overall mini group comes to us from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, it's Daisies. Moving on to our mini line top three, we have a two-way tie for third overall mini line. First up in third from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Back at It. Also in third overall from the Southern Strut is It's As Good As It Gets. Two-way tie for second overall. First up in second from Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's Found a Good One. Also in second overall for our mini line from Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's Brown Skin Girl. Which means your first overall mini line comes to us from the Southern Strut, it's Fergalicious. Moving on to our mini extended line top three, two-way tie for third overall. First up in third from the Southern Strut, it's Yacht Club Cuties. Also in third overall from Rhythm Dance Center, it's The Happy Disco Show. Second overall mini extended line comes to us from the Southern Strut, it's Wonderland. Which means your first overall mini extended line comes to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Fly Kicks. Awesome job, congratulations, minis, very nicely done. Moving on to our junior group top three. Third overall junior group comes to us from Malelli Academy, it's Save a Horse. Second overall junior group comes to us from Studio Powers, it's Cry Me a River. Which means, oh, there's a three-way tie for first overall for our junior groups. First up in first from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, it's The Swan. Also in first overall for our junior groups from Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's Made of Stone. And rounding out first overall junior group from the Southern Strut, it's A Young Mind's Thoughts. Moving on to our junior line top three, two-way tie for third overall for our junior line. First up in third from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, it's Kill the Lights. Also in third overall from Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's Genesis. Two-way tie for second overall junior line. First up in second from the Southern Strut, it's I Will Leave the Light On. And also in second overall from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, it's Dance Apocalyptic, which means your first overall junior line comes to us from the Southern Strut, it's This Place About to Blow. Moving on to junior extended line top three. Third overall junior extended line comes to us from Studio 413, it's Girl Boss. Second overall junior extended line comes to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Walk It Out. And your first overall junior extended line comes to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Foot on the Gas. Moving on to junior production top two. Second overall junior production comes to us from Studio 413, it's Electricity. And your first overall junior production comes to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Skia Rhythmdale. Awesome job, juniors, very nicely done. That's gonna wrap up our our high point by age division. Now we're moving on to our high point by performance division, starting with our sidekicks. We have a first overall sidekick contemporary coming to us from the Southern Strut, it's Flying Solo. We have a first overall sidekick hip hop coming to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Besties. We have a third overall sidekick jazz coming to us from the Southern Strut, it's Dump Him. A second overall sidekick jazz coming to us from the Southern Strut, it's Rainbow Bright. And a first overall sidekick jazz coming to us from the Southern Strut, it's Chewy Chewy. We have a second overall sidekick lyrical coming to us from Studio Powers, it's Big Love, Small Moments. And a first overall sidekick lyrical coming to us from the Southern Strut, it's Reflections. We have a third overall sidekick tap coming to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Shout. A second overall sidekick tap coming to us from the Southern Strut, it's ABC. And a first overall sidekick tap coming to us from the Southern Strut, it's Mr. Piano Man. And that wraps up our performance divisions for sidekicks. Congratulations, sidekicks. Moving on to mini, we have a first overall mini ballet coming to us from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, it's Concerto in D. Mini contemporary, we have a third overall mini contemporary coming to us from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, it's The Moment. Second overall mini contemporary coming to us from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, it's Bones. And your first overall mini contemporary coming to us from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, it's Daisies. Mini hip hop, third overall mini hip hop from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Back at It. Second overall mini hip hop comes to us from Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's Found a Good One. And your first overall mini hip hop comes to us from Rhythm Dance Center. We have a third overall mini jazz coming to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's The Happy Disco Show. A second overall mini jazz coming to us from Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's Brown Skin Girl. And a first overall mini jazz coming to us from the Southern Strut, it's Fergalicious. Third overall mini lyrical comes to us from Studio 413, it's Helium. Second overall mini lyrical from the Southern Strut, it's Fly Me to the Moon. And a first overall mini lyrical comes to us from Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's 3,000 Miles. Third overall mini musical theater from Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's Little Shop of Horrors. Second overall mini musical theater from the Southern Strut, it's Yacht Club Cuties, which means your first overall mini musical theater comes to us from the Southern Strut, it's Wonderland. A third overall mini tap from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Jitterbug. A second overall mini tap from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Love Shack. And your first overall mini tap comes to us from the Southern Strut, it's As Good as It Gets. Congratulations, minis, awesome job. Moving on to the junior division, we have a first overall junior ballet coming to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Violin Fantastique. Third overall junior contemporary coming to us from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, it's Off the Rails. We have a two-way tie for second overall junior contemporary. First up in second from the Southern Strut, it's A Young Mind's Thoughts. And also in second overall from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, it's The Swan, which means your first overall junior contemporary comes to us from the Southern Strut, it's I Will Leave the Light On. We have a third overall junior hip-hop coming to us from Studio 413, it's Girl Boss. Second overall junior hip-hop comes to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Walk It Out. And your first overall junior hip-hop comes to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Foot on the Gas. We have a two-way tie for third overall junior jazz. First up in third from Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's Genesis. Also in third overall junior jazz from Upstate Carolina Dance Center, it's Kill the Lights. We have a two-way tie for second overall junior jazz. First up in second from Studio 413, it's Electricity. And also in second overall for our junior jazz from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, it's Dance Apocalyptic, which means your first overall junior jazz comes to us from the Southern Strut, it's This Place About to Blow. Third overall junior lyrical comes to us from Gretchen Green School of Dance, it's Firework. Second overall junior lyrical comes to us from Gretchen Green School of Dance, it's Daisies, which means your first overall junior lyrical comes to us from Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's Made of Stone. Third overall junior musical theater coming to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Zero to Hero. Second overall junior musical theater comes to us from the Southern Strut, it's Gospel Truth. And your first overall junior musical theater comes to us from the Southern Strut, it's First Day Frug. Junior specialty. Second overall junior specialty comes to us from Gretchen Green School of Dance, it's Grease. And your first overall junior specialty comes to us from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Skia Rhythmdale. Third overall junior tap comes to us from Great Gig Dance Co., it's Tiny Dancer. Second overall junior tap comes to us from Studio 413, it's Into the Night. And we have a two-way tie for first overall junior tap, first up in first. From Rhythm Dance Center, it's Here Comes the Sun. And also in first overall for junior tap from Rhythm Dance Center, it's the Studio. And we have a first overall junior acro coming to us from the warehouse. It's Deo. Congratulations, juniors. Awesome job. That's going to wrap up our high point by performance division. And our last order of business for this award session is our 11 o'clock numbers. Now, these 11 o'clock numbers are not necessarily the highest scoring routines from each studio, but the numbers that the judges felt best represented each age division. So I'm going to start with our 11 o'clocks in sidekicks. We have 3 of them in no particular order. First up, from Studio Powers, it's Dance. Also from the Southern Strut, it's Flying Solo. And from Rhythm Dance Center, it's Besties. Congratulations to you guys, sidekicks. Moving on to our 11 o'clocks in the mini division, we have 9 in no particular order. From Studio 413, it's Helium. From West Main Studios, it's Spiders. From Maleli Academy, it's Move Your Body. From Studio Powers, it's Iconology. From Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, it's Bones. From Upstate Carolina Dance Center, it's Daisies. From Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's Found a Good One. From Rhythm Dance Center, it's Fly Kicks. And from the Southern Strut, it's Fergalicious. Congratulations, minis. Awesome job. And then moving on to our 11 o'clocks in the junior division, we have 8, again, in no particular order. First up, from Columbia City Jazz Conservatory, it's Dance Apocalyptic. From Studio 413, it's Girl Boss. From Rhythm Dance Center, it's Foot on the Gas. From the Southern Strut, it's This Place About to Blow. From Upstate Carolina Dance Center, it's Kill the Lights. From Maleli Academy, it's Missy. From Studio Powers, it's Cry Me a River. And from Dance Makers of Atlanta, it's Made of Stone. Congratulations, juniors, and congratulations to all of our sidekicks, minis, and juniors who competed with us this morning. You guys did an amazing job. We are going to get started back with competition at approximately 2:15 p.m. We will see you guys super soon.